This video will show you how to replace the inside door handle on a Toyota Matrix. This will be attached to your front door. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. We're going to have to remove the door panel. To do that, let's start up along this area. You're going to find that you have a small plastic panel here. I'm using a plastic trim tool to dislodge this. I want to be careful around my paint. Just a quick inspection of that panel and we'll set it aside. Now we're looking behind the inside door handle next. Looking in here, you can see a small plastic trap door. I'm using an angled pick. We'll carefully start dislodging that. Looking behind that, you have a Phillips head screw. Go ahead and remove it. Continuing on, we're making our way towards our grab handle. Looking in this area, we should have a Phillips head screw. Ours is rusted and rotted. I'm just going to go ahead and drill this out. That hardware is out of place. We can take hold of this. We'll remove it. Now, as we continue on removing the door panel, be aware we do have a wiring harness leading behind the switches and, of course, some cables behind this area. Let's start removing the panel. For this, you're going to find that you have some locking press clips that press from the door panel into the door itself. If you carefully make your way around the door panel, you're going to find that there are notches that you can easily grab onto, either by hand or using a plastic trim tool. We'll gently start prying this away, paying attention behind there for those wires and cables. Now that we have that panel moved out of the way far enough, we can gain access to that inside door handle. Prior to removing the handle, let's just pay attention to where each one of our connectors is. The white connector is up along the top for the lock, and the green is for the handle itself. With that said, in between those two connectors, we actually have a small locking tab. I'm going to use my plastic trim tool to carefully pry this away from the door just enough that I can slide the handle rearward towards where the cables are and slide it out and away. Now we'll turn this over. As you look at this, you can see that we're going to have to carefully remove each one of our two cables. Since I'm looking from the back side, the green is actually along the top now. Let's start with that one. The process will be approximately the same for these as far as the connector portion here. Just take hold of that in comparison to the handle, gently pull it out of place. You can see the groove that it needs to fit into. As for this green cable, we're going to take the far end and we'll slide that out of the handle. A thorough inspection of that cable. You want to make sure it's not rotted or damaged in any way. This looks good. Continue on to the next cable here. We have our connector. Slide it out of place. Now at the far end of the cable, we have this hooked area. Let's slide this out of place as well. That cable looks good. There it is, friend. Now, prior to installation of any part, of course, we're going to make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. We already paid attention to each one of our two cables, so I'll just pull those out of the way. Now, as you know, the handle itself does mount to the door, so we want to give this a quick wipe and a thorough inspection. Just double check to make sure nothing's rotted, weak, or damaged. This looks good. And now we can install our inside door handle. Let's have a look along the back side here. Now, for these cables, as we mentioned before, since it's upside down, the cables will also be upside down. So my white cable is going to go down along this area. We're just going to take this small hooked area and we'll slide it into that port on the handle itself. We'll roll it around and then we're going to lock that connector portion into its corresponding area. Line it up, press it in. After an audible click, we're going to give that a wiggle to confirm it's properly secured. Let's continue on to the green connector next. We're going to take the end of this cable and we'll have to slide it into this port here. It's a little difficult to see. I'll show you once I get my fingers out of the way. I slid it right up through this small groove. It's seated properly. We're bringing the green connector portion over so it's aligned, and we'll lock that in. At this point, while looking from the backside, I'm going to pull on the handle. You can see it's pulling the cable. Let's go ahead and function that door lock. It's functioning the cable as well. Neither of them are falling out of place. Now, as we turn this over, we want to pay attention to the cables themselves, the area that they twist over one another. When you go to reconnect this, we need to make sure we're not turning it in the wrong direction so it twists the cables in a way that it's going to cause binding. We'll just twist this in the proper direction here. You can tell that both cables are perfectly straight as they need to be. As we bring this in, we need to pay attention to this area where our 2 slots are. On the handle itself, we have 2 hooks. Those hooks are going to press in, slide this way, and then we'll lock it in with our locking tab in between where our 2 cables were. Coming in at an angle, pressing it forward, lining it up, locking it in. Audible click, double check to make sure that's secured in place. Let's get ready to install the door panel. As far as the door panel, we need to start up along the top. It has this lipped area that's going to go over this portion of the door. Once we have that in place, we're going to start swinging the door panel over. We have several plastic clips making their way around that fit into their corresponding ports on the door itself. That's what's going to lock this in. Nice and high. Once you have the top pressed into place, we can see where all of our clips are aligned here. We'll just go ahead and tap this into position. Take hold of the panel in comparison to the door. We're going to give it a wiggle. It should not slide out of place. We'll continue on with our grab handle and the mounting hardware. We'll make sure we have the grab handle in the proper orientation so it slides straight down into the door panel. We have our mounting screw, using our Phillips head to tighten this up. Just double check to make sure that's secured. We're making our way up to the inside door handle next. We have our Phillips head screw for up here as well. We'll protect the area. Now it's time for the upper corner piece. Having a look at this, we can see that we do have a small hooked area along the bottom, and up at the top is where the mounting point would be. So we're just going to start with the bottom. We're lining this up, press it in. After an audible click, we'll just make sure that's secured in place. So now we're going to test the functionality of the inside door handle. We're looking at the door latch. I'm using a 1/4 inch extension here, and I'm going to make my way inside the door latch using the 1/4 inch extension as the striker. We'll pretend that the door's shut. Now at this point, I'm applying pressure. I'm trying to force it out this way. The latch is not releasing. I'll take hold of the door handle. We're going to pull on that, and this should release. Let's test that one more time here. I'm pressing, and it releases. Perfect. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.